Yeah, greetings, greetings, greetings. It is Friday. Yes, hope everybody's doing great and you guys are taking care. Let me make sure my audio is fine over here because sometimes it's not really cooperating. All right, I think we sound good now. Okay, we're gonna touch a little bit. We're gonna touch a little bit on respiratory issues. Okay, hope you guys are doing well. It's really cold for a lot of parts of the world. Oh yeah, it's time to get some hot tea. Yeah, like my mom would say, get some tea for sutni chow. Cornet. Yeah. So greetings. Hope you guys are well. Your families are doing great. I'm broadcasting today on YouTube and Facebook, Facebook and YouTube. So come on, join the show. Let's get going. Let's learn a little bit more about our health status, learn about some herbs to help us with our respiratory issues because right now respiration or respiratory issues rather are pretty dominant out there and it's kicking some butt. All right, so just gonna bring you some tips on some things you can do and how the respiratory system works, how everything works together to keep us healthy. All right. I love tea. I love me a nice cup of hot tea. All right. So it is Friday. It is almost the end of 2023. And from what I've been reading and what I've been researching and what I've been hearing and seeing, is that 2023 was a really, really bad year for a lot of people. But it didn't start in 2023. Okay. Don't forget 2020 when when the pandemic happened. Okay. So it all boils down to this, what we're faced with right now. So, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. All right. Just know that it is not going anywhere anytime soon. All right. So respiratory issues are here to stay. We just need to know some things to do to mitigate the negative effects of respiratory problems. All right. But as always, before I get into the information I have for you, I need to constantly remind you that I am not a doctor. I am not a medical professional. I am a herbalist, a holistic health educator, and a researcher. I do not, I do not dispense medical advice or medicine. I do not diagnose or treat medical conditions. All right. I do not do those things. I'm a herbalist. And these statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, they're not intended to treat, they are not intended to cure or prevent any disease. Okay, simply because I provide information and education from the perspective of herbalist. All right. So, what is the respiration or the respiratory system, rather? Right? What is the respiratory system? And if you're on board already, just let me know you're here, okay? Let me know that you are here with me. So let me start off saying greetings. Mm, mm, mm. All right. So hope you're doing well today, family. Okay. So the respiratory system, right? Your respiratory system is really a network of organs, a network of organs and tissues that help you breathe. In simple terms, right? It's a network, meaning that there is more than just one thing working to help you breathe. It's an entire network. Okay, it includes organs and tissues. Okay, it includes your airways, it includes your lungs and your blood vessels. All right, so the muscles that power your lungs, the muscles that power your lungs are also part of your respiratory system. And what they do is that they work together to move oxygen throughout your body and clean out waste gases like carbon dioxide. Okay. If you're on here, let me know that you're tuned in. I know it's early. It's Friday. Uh, Friday morning. It's early, and some of us got to work. Some people got to be doing things. Some of us are asleep. Okay. Some of us are asleep too. Okay. So the parts of the respiratory system, they work together to move oxygen throughout your body and also clean out waste gases. Clean out waste gases like carbon dioxide. Okay. And we got the lungs. Okay. And your lungs are two organs. There are two. There's the left lung and the right lung. Left lung and the right lung. Okay. And what they do, they remove oxygen from the air and pass it into your blood. They remove oxygen from the air that you breathe and pass it into your blood. It goes into your blood. Your blood is your delivery system. Your blood is your lifeline. Your blood carries that air. Okay. The oxygen from the air carries that. It carries cholesterol. Your blood carries your vitamins and your minerals and distributes it all over your body. So from your lungs, your bloodstream delivers oxygen to all your organs and other tissues. Your bloodstream delivers that oxygen that is removed from the air that you breathe. Okay, it delivers that to your organs and other tissues. Okay, so now muscles and bones help move the air that you inhale in and out of your lungs. Your muscles and bones, they work together to help move the air you inhale into your lungs and out of your lungs. Some of the bones, muscles in your respiratory system, okay, include your diaphragm. And we'll just touch on a few of those. We won't cover everything because it is so many, quite a bit, right? Your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is that muscle that helps your lungs pull in air and push it out. The diaphragm is a muscle. It helps your lungs pull in air and push it out. Okay. And then you have your ribs. Okay. And those ribs, bones, those are bones, right? They surround and protect your lungs and your heart. They protect your lungs and your heart. Your ribs do. Sometimes referred to as your rib cage. I hope wherever you are doing good, and you have a cup of hot herbal tea just sipping on because it's cold in a lot of areas. Greetings, Ruby. Greetings, greetings. Yes, always, always. That's what we do. We share the love and we share the information. Okay. So your ribs, okay, are made up of bones and they protect your lungs and they protect your heart. So when you breathe out, your blood carries carbon dioxide and other waste out of your body. As simple as a process it is, and we don't even think about, right? Breathing. It's something we don't think about. It automatically happens for us. You know what I mean? We don't think about breathing. We don't really concern ourselves about winking our eyes, right? We do not. But those happen automatically. Okay, your blood, very important. Your blood carries carbon dioxide and other waste out of your body when you breathe out. Okay, and there are other components that work with the lungs and they work with the blood vessels. It's a whole network of organs and tissues, guys. You have the alveoli, right? And those are tiny air sacs that are in your lungs where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. The tiny ear sacs, alveoli, right? Or alveoli, depending on where you went to school and how you taught, how it was taught to you. Okay, those are in your lungs where the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Okay, then you have your bronchioles. Those are small branches of the bronchial tubes that lead to the alveoli. Small branches, bronchial tubes. Those are tubes that lead to the alveoli. And then you have capillaries. And your capillaries are blood vessels. Those blood vessels are in the alveoli walls and they move oxygen and carbon dioxide. They move oxygen and carbon dioxide. Okay. And there are other parts as well that make everything work to improve your health. Okay. They make everything work to improve your health. It's a whole network. So now when you inhale or you breathe in, air enters your lungs and oxygen from the air moves from your lungs to your blood. When you inhale, when you breathe in, air enters your lungs. We don't think about those things, but this is what happens to help us, right, remain alive. Oxygen from the air. That is why it is important to keep your living environment, your living space clean and tidy, because that air enters your lungs and it has to have oxygen. So if there is little oxygen in the air that you breathe, you're not going to get a whole lot of oxygen, right? And with the lack of oxygen, your brain can begin to die, right? So the oxygen in the air moves from your lungs to your blood. So your blood could deliver oxygen to your organs and your cells. Now, at the same time, simultaneously, while this is happening, carbon dioxide, which is waste gas, right? It moves from your blood to your lungs, and then it is exhaled or you breathe it out. Let me go back and say this again. When you inhale, it enters your lungs, and the oxygen in the air moves from your lungs to your blood. At the same time, while this is happening, at the same time, the carbon dioxide, which is a waste gas, it moves from your blood to your lungs and you breathe it out. You guys understand that exchange that's taking place? And it's gas exchange. This is called gas exchange, and it is so essential to life. And again, when we breathe in and breathe out, we don't bother ourselves with that. We don't, because it just happens automatically for us. We have no worry in the world about breathing in and breathing out, unless or until, right, there is something bad. Okay? If the smell is really offensive, then it gets our attention. Okay. So I am drinking my lung health tea. Okay, this is to detox my lungs. And you can find this on my website. Okay. bushmanherbsandthings.com. All right. And I'm drinking this morning because I need to stay warm and I need to keep my lungs in good shape. So when I train, I go to do my physical fitness, I go to train my body, my lungs are well equipped to receive the air, all right, and to extract the oxygen from it. Okay. So, in addition to your lungs, your respiratory system includes trachea, which is your windpipe, right here, right? The windpipe. There's also muscles of the chest wall and your diaphragm. You got blood vessels, and you have tissues that make breathing and gas exchange possible. All right. So your brain controls your breathing rate. Your brain is what controls your breathing rate. So you see how everything just works together to make life possible, to make living more bearable. So your respiratory system has many different parts, and each group of parts has many separate components. Okay. So the respiratory system with those different parts, they work together to help us breathe. If you can't breathe, you will die because you need oxygen to keep your brains alive. You need oxygen in your blood so the oxygen could be delivered to your tissues and your organs. Mhm. Now, your airway delivers air to your lungs. Your airway delivers air to your lungs. All right, guys, don't forget to share, subscribe, follow, comment, like, bring your questions, and don't forget, jump on my website and check it out. Leave me a review. Leave me some reviews. Leave me some feedback. Your honest review and your honest feedback. Okay. Not anything to please me, just how you feel and your experience with whatever we had to deal with between you and I professionally. All right. Okay. So your airways deliver air to your lungs. All right. And your airways, they are complicated. It's a complicated system, and it includes your mouth and your nose. Okay. And your mouth and your nose pull air from outside, and it delivers the air into your respiratory system. Okay. Then you have your sinuses. And your sinuses, what they do for you, they help regulate the temperature and humidity of the air that you inhale. Your sinuses, they help regulate the temperature and the humidity of the air that you inhale. All right. Then you have the pharynx or your throat. Your pharynx or your throat. And that's the tube that delivers air from your mouth and your nose to your trachea or your windpipe. That's your pharynx, right? Or it's called your throat. It's a tube that delivers air from your mouth and your nose to the trachea. The trachea is connected to your throat and your lungs, to your throat and your lungs. And then you have the bronchial tubes, those tubes at the bottom of your windpipe that connect into each lung. So your trachea is that passage that connects your throat and your lungs. And the bronchial tubes, they're at the bottom of your trachea and they connect into each lung. One left, one go left, one goes right. Okay. And of course, you have the lungs. All right. So make sure you're drinking some warm tea today and throughout the weekend because it's going to be super cold depending on where you are. I'm in Florida, and we are going to be like almost at the freezing point over the weekend. I'm in North Florida. I mean, Northeast Florida. We're going to be about 34, almost at freezing point, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to be somewhere in the low to mid 30s this weekend, starting tonight throughout Saturday and Sunday. That means I'll be drinking a lot of tea. So I am drinking right now my lung health formula, keep my respiratory system in shape. And you can find it on my website. All right. Now, let's look at some respiratory disorders or lung diseases. Okay. There are disorders like asthma, and asthma is defined as very common. It's a common chronic respiratory condition, and it causes difficulty breathing because of inflammation of the airways. The airways become inflamed, and when the airways become inflamed, they narrow. They get narrower, so it means that it makes breathing more difficult. Okay. It's kind of like when you have plaque, you have high cholesterol, and there is plaque in your arteries. Okay, it makes it harder for your heart to pump the blood through those arteries because they're partially clogged. Okay, same concept, except that with the airways, they inflame, and once they inflame, the passageway narrows, so breathing becomes more difficult. All right, and we have what is called cystic fibrosis, and it is a genetic respiratory disease, and is caused by a defective gene that creates thick and sticky mucus, thick and sticky mucus that clogs up tubes and passageways. Cystic fibrosis. Okay, now this thick, sticky mucus, it causes repeat and dangerous lung infections, as well as obstructions in the pancreas. It causes obstruction in the pancreas. So we're talking about thick, sticky mucus, right? And that is where you need my lung detox tea. Okay. It will help loosen up that thick, sticky mucus and pass it out your body. So you can breathe easily, right? Breathing will become easier. You won't have to struggle so much to breathe to get oxygen from the air. That oxygen is going to pass to your blood, and your blood delivers that oxygen to your tissues and to your organs, everywhere else it's needed in your body. Okay. So what happens when the pancreas becomes obstructed by that thick, sticky mucus that brings the onset of lung infections? It prevents important enzymes from breaking down nutrients for your body. It prevents important enzymes from being broken down or to break down the nutrients for the body. Okay. And some of the herbs in here, and this is already formulated, well formulated. Oregano. And we're gonna look at those uh, a little bit later down, right? Oregano, red clover, peppermint, eucalyptus. Okay. And we'll look and dig a little deeper into those herbs and how they help us, how they help us breathe properly, how they help us receive oxygen from the air that we breathe, how they help our lungs and our respiratory system on a whole operate more efficiently. Okay, so let's look at emphysema. Emphysema, okay, is serious. Emphysema is a serious respiratory disease, and it's another form of what we call COPD. Okay, so emphysema is a serious respiratory disease, and the most common cause for emphysema or COPD, the most common cause, The only cause that is from smoking, because emphysema sufferers, what they do, they have trouble exhaling air from the lungs. They have trouble exhaling. And if you have trouble exhaling, that means carbon dioxide does not leave the body the way it should. And it remains and it causes problems for you. It causes a lot of respiratory issues. If you have trouble exhaling air from your lung, you're going to end up in a lot of problems. All right. And this is one of the reasons why I emphasize exercise, movement, right? We call it exercise, it's movement. You gotta move. You gotta keep your heart pumping. You gotta keep your blood pumping. You gotta keep your lymph moving. Because from exercising, your lymph is gonna move up. It doesn't have a pump to pump it up like your blood does. Your blood has a pump, which is your heart, to pump it through the arteries, deliver the oxygen. It gets deoxygenated and it returns back, or it returns up to your lungs, through your heart, and it gets oxygenated, and the heart pumps it out again through arteries. And it's just a cycle. Okay. So that is why I encourage people, I encourage you to first detoxify your liver and then detoxify your kidneys. Once you have done those two things, which takes about 2 to 3 weeks on average, but it really should be 2 weeks, 14 days, then you are going to cleanse your blood. You're going to detoxify your blood. The reason it's done in that order, and that's how I do it, and this is how I recommend it being done, is because if you do it the other way around, say you purify your blood, right? Remember, your blood still has to go through your liver and your kidneys. So if you try purifying your blood before purifying or detoxifying the organs that filter that blood is going to go through the dirty filters, and it will actually not be so beneficial because now the blood is going to go back through those dirty filters, your organs, your liver, and your kidneys, right? And then it's dirty again. Then you have to detoxify it. So that's why I do it in that order. You detox your lungs, your liver rather, and then you detox your kidneys. Once those two filters are clean, then you detoxify your blood. So once the blood is detoxed, now they have clean filters to go through. Okay, in that order. And this is what I recommend you doing. And you can get all these on my website. My website is in my profile. It is bushnutherdsandthings.com. And go there. Go to my products page. You will find all my products. Most of my products. Okay. So consider you taking your car to the mechanic and you want to do an oil change. Okay. You're doing an oil change and the mechanic does not change out the oil filter. They just removes the old oil, puts new oil in. By the time you crank up the car, it goes through that dirty filter. It goes right through the dirty filter, and guess what? It would have been best if you had not done the oil change. You have to remove that old filter because the oil has to go through the filter. Think of your system the same way. You have your liver and your kidneys to filter your blood. You detoxify those first, and then you detoxify your blood. Okay. Now, let's go back to emphysema. Emphysema sufferers have trouble exhaling air from the lungs. So when you do not exhale completely, listen up. When you do not exhale completely, carbon dioxide remains in the body and it accumulates in your cells. It accumulates in your cells. And when carbon dioxide accumulates in your cells, it produces fatigue. You are going to feel tired. It causes you to yawn a lot. It diminishes mental clarity and it increases stress. That's emphysema, right? Lung cancer. Lung cancer is a disease caused when your cells divide uncontrollably. Remember, the emphysema is when you don't exhale completely, right? Okay. So that causes emphysema, right? When you don't exhale completely, carbon dioxide remains in the body and they end up in your cells. Lung cancer is a disease caused when your cells, those same cells, divide uncontrollably and spread in surrounding tissue. And cancer, any type of cancer, is caused by changes or mutation to your DNA within your cells. That is why herbalists correct your problems or attempt to correct your health issues on a cellular level, not on a symptom level, but on a cellular level. We go deep and we correct those cellular malfunctions. And this is how we operate. Because when your cells die, you end up with cancer. Cell death. Cell death. Mesothelioma is a cancer that forms in the thin tissue that lines many parts or many internal organs, many of your internal organs. And the most common form, or most common kind of mesothelioma forms in the tissue around where? Your lungs. Those tissue around your lungs. The most common kind of mesothelioma forms right there. And then you have what is called pulmonary hypertension. Pulmonary hypertension. That is a condition that affects your blood vessels in the lungs. It affects the blood vessels in your lungs. It develops when the blood pressure in your lungs is higher than normal. Okay? When the blood pressure in your lungs is higher than normal. So, what we're learning is that about 1% of people worldwide have pulmonary hypertension. And pulmonary hypertension makes your heart work harder than normal to pump blood into your lungs. Yeah, your lungs. Yeah, your lungs need blood too, right? Not just air. Pulmonary hypertension. It makes your heart work harder than normal to pump blood into your lungs. And we got TB, tuberculosis. It is an infectious disease that most often affects the lungs, and it is caused by a type of bacteria. It spreads through the air when infected people cough, sneeze, or they spit. Tuberculosis is very preventable and it could be corrected. It could be corrected. And the figures, the data show that about 2 billion with a B of the world population is estimated to have been infected with tuberculosis bacteria. All right. And as of December 2nd, 2023, okay, the current world population is was a little over 8 billion. We are over 8 billion. We've already passed that 7 billion mark as of Saturday, December 2nd, 2023, according to the most recent United Nations estimates. So, if left untreated, if lung disease is left untreated, it can produce health complications. It can produce problematic symptoms and life threatening conditions. Okay. So, herb number one in the ingredients here in my lung health program, lung detox, is mullein. And some of the things mullein does for you, it helps. You know, those muscles in your airways that we talked about earlier, it helps those muscles in your airways relax. And when they relax, that in turn eases breathing difficulties because the airways are relaxed. They're flexible, they're relaxed. Air could exchange without any pressure, without any extra force. Okay. And what happens in that process is that it calms the inflammation. It tames the inflammation of those tubes, those muscles in the airways. It is an expectorant. It works to clear congestion and it thins the mucus. It loosens up the mucus and it thins it out in the airway. because you don't want that thick, sticky mucus to be present, to be there. It hinders the air from going in and out, that air exchange. It hinders the air from coming in and carbon dioxide from exiting, right? Mint, peppermint, spearmint, the wide variety of mints. They boost your immune system. They reduce cold, fever, and flu symptoms. And mint keeps your mouth healthy. It's antibacterial. Mint is antibacterial. It keeps your mouth healthy. Mint also helps us to combat stress. Okay, it helps us deal with the onset of stress. Mint. Eucalyptus. Eucalyptus, it helps to silence a cough. It helps to silence coughing. It clears your chest. It disinfects wounds. It helps you to breathe easy. It clears the sinuses. It soothes cold sores. You know those bumps you get on your lips, cold sores, right? And actually, that's herpes. That's a form of herpes, by the way. Cold sores. Okay, and it also eucalyptus reduces symptoms of coughs and cold and congestion, and it relieves muscle and joint pain. And it's all formulated in here. Okay, just it's all formulated already formulated for you. And this is what I'm drinking right now. When I'm done here, I'm going to make another cup. Okay, another herb in there is red clover. Red clover, not clove. Red clover, which is a flower. Red clover, it helps your body to drain mucus from your lungs, and it thins the mucus. And as the mucus is being thinned out, it lubricates the irritated respiratory tract. We do need mucus for everything in our body, for ligaments, muscle movement, stomach lining, tissue lining, that's all mucus, right? But when it becomes thick and sticky, then we're going to have a mucus problem. So red clover promotes the drainage of mucus from the lungs by thinning it, and it lubricates that irritated respiratory tract. It promotes the secretion of phlegm from the lower airways, right? In what we call expectoration, which is an agent that promotes and discharge or expulse mucus from the respiratory tract. Okay, so it's an expectorant, an antitussive agent, and that is a cough suppressant. Okay, it's a cough suppressant, and these are the ingredients in here already formulated for you, well packaged and labeled. Okay, in here, and that could be found on my website. And I'm going to put down in here. and boom. So take care of your lungs, take care of your trachea, take care of those tubes that help you breathe, that help you to take in the oxygen from the air and to push the carbon dioxide out, which is waste, out of your system. All right. Don't forget, guys, your health is your responsibility. Okay. So take care of your health. Follow me for more content. As always, I'm always posting content, whether video or making post. And check it out. Jump on there. And don't forget to do your research now. You got to do your own research too. Okay. Right. Always do your research. Okay. Cool. So that's all I have for you this Friday. I am going to be traveling this weekend, so I will not be on tomorrow. I was supposed to be on tomorrow instead of today. And I will not have a lecture on Monday. That's New Year's Day, the New Year's the calendar, New Year's Day. And I will be back with you sometime. I will let you guys know when I'm going to be back. I will travel this weekend. And so take care of yourselves as always. And forget, we all have our issues to deal with. All right. So I will see you guys next time. And don't forget, your health is your responsibility. Okay. Take care, guys. Bye.